morning. Today is Sunday, May the 17th, I believe. May the 17th. We'll go with that for now. We're heading north. We're heading along the shoreline of Georgian Bay, Lake Huron, here in Ontario. The last video we uploaded, we were shooting the islands of Georgian Bay. And I had a blast that particular day. I really did enjoy that shoot and shooting those islands and the results, and I was really happy with that. But we did mention that particular day that there was a woodland scene that we wanted to take a closer look at. Or more correctly, let's say a woodland area. Trees, moss, green, kind of Ice Age, somewhat Jurassic maybe looking boulders within this forest. And under certain conditions, I thought to myself, you know what? That might be an excellent area to take a closer look at for some woodland photography. That's what we're doing today. We're heading north. We're going to take a closer look at that forest. It's got that real kind of spooky Jurassic kind of feeling to it. It's about 6 a.m., maybe 10 after 6 right now. So the time is fine. The sun is rising, and that's okay. Where we're going is deep in the forest, and we're going to take a good look. We're going to see what we can find today. We'll see what adventures we get into. We'll see what images we can capture. Hey, let's get going. Today's equipment, well, we have two camera bodies with us today. My mirrorless Fujifilm X-T100 and also my DSLR, which is my Canon 50D. So my Canon 50D, you know, old faithful, my trusty DSLR that I would shoot pretty much anything with. You know, my Fujifilm X-T100, I really enjoy shooting with that camera. And I bought that camera, and I believe it was last October, maybe November. So I've had it now 6 months anyhow, maybe 7 months. But there's still a learning curve going on with that camera for sure, especially the film selection settings. But anyhow, yeah. Lenses, well, for my Canon 50D, I have a 50mm prime, which I actually use very rarely. On that particular camera, the 50mm prime is a great portrait lens, and I love it for that, f1.8. I have my 70-200 f4, which is a great landscape lens. Also, I actually use that lens an awful lot for wedding photography. Now, for my Fujifilm, and for my Canon, I also have my 18-55mm kit lens, which is quite possibly a lens that we'll use today. But anyhow, for my Fujifilm, I have my 15-45mm kit lens, and I also have my 50-230mm telephoto lens. Love them both. Great lenses, especially for a consumer level kind of lens. I find that their results are really quite acceptable for landscape photography, and I am starting to get several images that are of printable quality with that particular camera, and that's part of that learning curve as I move forward with that camera. So yeah, as you can see, none of my gear is particularly high-end. In fact, if there was anything in that particular lineup of equipment that I've just kind of spieled off to you guys, the only one piece of professional equipment that would really be in there would be the Canon 24-70mm f4 lens. Everything else is essentially at a consumer kind of level. Now, back in the day, having to really correct that, back in the day, the Canon 50D was definitely a prosumer camera body. and used by many, many professionals back in the day. And then it evolved into the 7D and the 7D Mark II, which are both excellent cameras today, and I wouldn't hesitate to pick one of those up if the price was right on a used, good quality kind of camera body deal. And I have had a 7D before, and I love the camera. And just for a point of interest, since we're talking about the Canon line, they of course have the 60D, the 70D, the 80D, and I think they brought out the 90D. But you know, in the logical sequence of cameras and specs, the 50D, at that point, that series really did end, even though they made a 60D and a 70D. It did not follow suit. The camera that was the normal and natural upgrade for the Canon 50D was actually the Canon 7D. That was the next step up camera from the 50D. And then of course the 7D Mark II. Okay. Still got a ways to go, but we are getting there. I love this particular area. The area that we're coming through is an area that I also bike through an awful lot. Although I haven't for the last couple of weeks, simply because I've actually been doing other things other than photography, and as you know, I do drive a school bus, and of course there's no schools right now because of this absolutely craziness of the virus that's going around. So I've been picking up other work as handyman type work, and so for the last almost 2 weeks now, I've actually been painting a house for a lady in my community of Wasaga Beach, and then I have some more work to do this coming week. I have a deck to refinish and so on, so hey, that's okay. We keep the bills paid, that's the main thing. Okay, as usual, babbling on. I do love this area. Now right through here, first kind of location of the day to check out, and that is a swampland within the forest. Now, again, it's early on the morning. It's May the 17th. We're starting to get some buds, leaves showing on the trees, but it's still very, very, very barren. Which is absolutely perfect for what we're doing today. Woodland, marsh, wetland, very kind of Jurassic feeling. A little bit grayer, a little bit moodier, a little bit foggier, mistier maybe, or even a drizzle would add to the scene. But still, very, very, very interesting. So let us see if along here we can actually find a composition that's going to work for us. Let's just work our way around. Lots of fallen brush, twigs, tree trunks, branches. Wow. What do we have here? Now here in the water, we have a fallen tree. Could that make a leading line? Possibly. Is it just too chaotic? Quite possibly. But I really do like what we're looking at. If we can get that composition. Wow. Man. That looks rather interesting, doesn't it? Okay, let's just work our way around a little bit more. And let's see. Oh, now this is interesting too. Wow, yeah. Through here is interesting. Especially with the curvature of some of those branches and the reflections of the trees and the trunks. Wow. But I'm just going to keep working my way around. See what else we can see. I think, hard to say, but you know what? I think back here, if I walk back around, really from the way I came, because I really did like that one kind of tree falling into the marshland or the wetland right through here. Okay, you know what? I am going to actually head back to my car. In my car, I have rubber boots or Wellington boots. That's going to allow me to penetrate a little bit of this water. I want to get past these branches without actually breaking them. Let me go get my boots. Stand by. Okay. I've got my Dunlop Wellington boots on, which means we can get a little bit into this water and perhaps just past, or just enough, and I think we can right here, just to pass some protruding branches that was actually in my way. Yeah, I think right in here is going to be a shot, or at least we're going to try for that shot. Okay, my rubber boots. Check these things out. These are awesome. Dunlop is the brand name. Now, on one of my trips to the Cumbrian Mountains and photographing the Lake Districts in England, everywhere you go, they have outfitter stores there. Big hiking country is England, especially the Cumbrian Mountains and the Lake District. Lots of National Trust trails, but in every community, there's several outfitter stores. These were on sale, 13 English pounds, about 26 Canadian dollars for these boots. I don't use them every day by any means, but when I need them, times like this, they're perfect. And what I thought was a ridiculously low price, because they're excellent quality. These are really high-end rubber boots. Okay. Let's get set up on a tripod. Let's see what we can do with this composition. We're set up on the tripod. We've got twigs in our hair. Canon 50D 24 to 70mm f4 lens. Polarizer set to maximum polarization, no other filters. ISO 100, focal length of 24mm, gives me a shutter speed of 1/6 of a second. 2-second timer. Nice. We have the leading line of the tree running into the wetland, with the sun, as it's rising above the tree line, slightly illuminating the green moss on the side of that tree trunk. We've got the chaos, the bending, twisting tree trunks, limbs, branches, the reflection of such in the water. We could have the skyline. One more shot. We only want to show the wetland, the forest, the swamp, the spooky Jurassic kind of feeling. We don't want the sky. We don't want to see the brightness of the sunshine. Amazing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful location. Let's just change our orientation slightly, our composition. Oh my, if I would take this here, and again, cut out the sky right there, and try one more shot. Oh, 1/10 of a second, a little bit more light as we turn towards the sun. 2-second timer. second image of the day. Wow. Okay. Ooh. This is super interesting. You know, in a location like this, you could actually spend several hours just photographing this one location. However, I now want to just look at incorporating a little bit of the sky, just to see what will happen. 2-second timer, 1/8 of a second, ISO 100, focal length of 24 mil on a crop sensor, by the way. Okay. Interesting. Super, super, super interesting. Okay. 3 shots in the bag. Did we get anything from that? You know what? Let's have a look and see. Let's pop one up if we did. Okay. Let me try a slightly different composition further down that way. Yeah. Lots to be seen, lots to be explored, lots to be captured. Wow. Okay. One more composition. Wow. Unfortunately, moving in the water, I created some ripples. So we've been waiting for those ripples to subside a little bit. However, again, a very kind of Jurassic feeling shot. Canon 50D on the tripod. 24 to 70 mil lens, 24 focal length, ISO 100, 1/10 of a second, 2-second timer. One more shot for the day. Wow. Okay. Slightly different composition. Just amazing. Minor adjustments, 1/6 of a second. Now, that was you guys falling in the water. I love my GoPro. GoPro Hero 8 Black, totally waterproof, not a problem. Obviously, a little bit of water on the lens, but you know what? We survived to live another day, I guess. Okay, so I think there was really not a lot, even though there's all these branches around me, there was nothing I could reach to attach my grip to. So I'll just keep hold of you, because that was really quite amazing. Okay, where was I? Let me take a look down here again, see what I'm doing. Okay, next composition. That was crazy. I heard this splash behind me, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe a frog, you know, maybe a beaver, something like that. Nope, it was a GoPro. Okay. Next shot. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to put you guys away before I drown you. We're going to pack up from here. We're going to move on. We're going to go take a look at some boulders in some woodland. Let's go. This particular area, we're right down at the shoreline in Georgian Bay, at an area known as Marks Point, but it's a very secluded kind of area. Be Thunder Beach to my right, which would be a tourist, very small kind of touristy, but very elite kind of wealthy person kind of place. But right here in this body of water, back in the day, well, I know of this place because this is where I used to do all, well, not all, but a lot of my training and gear dialing in for my underwater photography, right here in this body of water. It drops down to about 60, 70, 80 feet out there. There's really nothing down there other than rocks, boulders, a little bit of marine life here and there. But it's also a quiet and excellent location. Just to train for underwater photography / scuba diving and so on. And I used to do a lot of my training right here. Nice little pathway leading back to the parking area, and the area that's actually called Marks Point. It's got a small parking area there. There are some very nice homes here to my left and right. You can't particularly see them because of the forest. But again, quite wealthy people that have bought lots right on the shoreline and had their beautiful, spectacular homes built on them. But yeah, this part here, this is public. So yeah, I just thought I'd stop here as we were was in the area. We're only about 5 or 6 miles from where the swampland was that we photographed just earlier. Okay, let's keep going, because as we make our way to the area that I would like to photograph next, and that's the woodland scene with boulders. Let's go take a look. We're on an old logging trail. In the wintertime, this trail doubles as a snowmobile trail. Of course, no snowmobiles today, but that's okay, just fine. I'm all done with the winter anyhow. But it's an old logging road from back in the day. Clearing out the bush, collecting the logs for building homes, for firewood, for many things, construction in general. And as I say, today, hiking path, mountain biking path, wintertime snowmobile trail, ATV trail, dirt bike kind of trail. Yeah. But it's in this area where I'd noticed the boulders in the forest, and I thought, you know what, that might be interesting to photograph. So we're here today just to take a closer look. We're set up on the tripod again with our Canon 50D, but this time we've had a lens change. We've gone to our standard 18 to 55mm kit lens. I've said this before. You know what? Yes, I consider myself a professional photographer. I am formally trained 3 years in college for photography, night school. However, do not underestimate the value of your 18 to 55mm kit lens with your Canon camera. It's an absolutely stunning lens for the dollar that you pay for it. I bought this particular one that I'm using right now, used off eBay, arrived at my home for around 75 Canadian dollars. I don't know, 55, 60 US dollars. That's it, 60 bucks US. And I use this lens lots. Oh, ISO 100, a focal length of 18mm. We're showing about 1/13 of a second. We have the polarizer set on there, 2-second timer. That is my image so far. Wow. The composition, boulders, rocks, trees. It's getting just a little bit too bright now. I did spend maybe slightly too much time photographing the wetland, which I thoroughly enjoyed, by the way, and maybe reminiscing a little bit about my old training area for my underwater photography down by the water's edge there. Having said that, this is what we've got to work with now. It's probably around about 8:30 a.m. The sun's starting to rise quite nicely now. As I say, it is mid-May, so we do get longer days, of course. So yeah, here we are. And you know what? Absolutely love the location. It's right next to a small road that takes you down to the dockside and the boat that takes you over to Christian Island. Now, where we are right now is just on the other side, on the mainland from Christian Island. So we are on Beausoleil First Nation. First Nation land, if you will. So the Canadian First Nation land. And the Beausoleil Nation. I guess that would be called the tribe, if that's correct, of the people. But anyhow, it's the Beausoleil First Nation land. Amazing. So thank you to the Beausoleil First Nation for allowing me to be here. So yeah, one more shot, same composition, why not? And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are now going to go to, and let me just take a little peek inside the camera here, because I want to go to one stop over. So I'm going to take a shot, one stop over. I want to go to one stop under. Take a shot, one stop under. There it is. And I want to go to about 2 stops under. One more shot. And you know what? I think I'm going to go to a 2 stop over. Nope, not quite. I want to go all the way up to 2 stops over. There it is. Take one more shot. You know what? I still didn't get that way I wanted it. One more. Let's go back again. Okay, here we go. Better. A little bit more. Perfect. 2 stops over. So we've got a variety of data there. Possible HDR, who knows? But you know what? Hey, been an absolutely amazing morning. It's been a blast, and I've loved every second of this. But the day progresses. It's getting a little too bright now for what we wanted to do today. We're going to head back to the studio. We're going to take a look at these images in Lightroom. We're going to see what we can get. And as always, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Thank you for watching. Please give me a like, a share, a comment. If you haven't already, subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell, and that way you'll know whenever I do upload a video. Again, thank you for watching. Gary here, Gary Clayton Photography. Thank you. Have a nice day. Let's sit back, cup of coffee. Let's take a look at some images. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.